Good morning. So today we are going to visit the great temples of Abu Simbel. Our excursion started from Aswan. It's about 280 kilometers from Aswan. The excursion started at 4 o'clock early morning and we arrived by 7:30 to the great temples. The great temples of Abu Simbel were built by King Ramses II to the gods Hathor, Amon-Ra, Ramses himself, defied, and god Ptah, and a small temple for goddess Hathor and for his beloved wife Queen Nefertari. The two temples were built completely cut in the rock, and the original site now is under the water of the Lake of Nasser. After the building of the High Dam 1970, the Lake of Nasser covered many temples. So Egypt, to save the temples, with the UNESCO, they did a great appeal, international one, to fund the rescue of the two temples. So the two temples were rescued and were rebuilt 200 meters back, 65 meters higher, and thank God today we have the two temples saved like we can see now. The great temple of Abu Simbel, we can see 4 colossal statues of King Ramses II himself sitting, and the other one 6 statues standing, 2 of the pharaoh right on the left, between them one great statue for the wife. The small temple of Abu Simbel was dedicated to his wife, Queen Nefertari, the beloved wife of the pharaoh. And the standing statues, we can see the queen at the same height of the pharaoh. He loved her. The great temples, like we can see now, the great one, it was built by the pharaoh, and we have 4 colossal statues. In the middle we can see god Hathor. The 4 statues, the third one is destroyed, half destroyed. The smile of the pharaoh looking to the horizon we can see, and this temple, the entrance was built to the east, that every day the sun rays penetrates inside until the sanctuary of the temple. We can see a frieze of baboons, about 14 of baboons at the top. They are celebrating the rising of the sun every day. 4 colossal statues. You can see a huge one, the biggest statues we have all over Egypt. Both sides of the thrones we can see god Hapi, god of the Nile, uniting between Upper and Lower Egypt, and we can see the enemies of Egypt in that time, the Nubian to the left, south, and the Asiatic people to the right. Inside the temple we can see the sons and daughters of the pharaoh and the scenes of the Battle of Kadesh that King Ramses did only 5 years after he became a pharaoh. King Ramses became a pharaoh from 1290 until 1223 BC. one of the greatest pharaoh all over our history, King Ramses II. The temple inside, we have the battles, and we have side rooms, and we can see the pharaoh is doing offering to the different gods. Here we can see the pharaoh is keeping the enemies of Egypt in front of Amon-Ra, and now he is above his chariot with his lion. And we can see the army of the pharaoh behind him, and he's keeping under his feet some of the enemies of Egypt. And you can see another time the pharaoh above his chariot with lovely horses. Here got Tut writing his name on the tree. Different rooms we have here, different scenes we have here. After a while we'll go inside one or two of these rooms. Here we can see different scenes of the pharaoh. He's doing offering to different gods, God Betah, God Horse, and God Tut. They are crowning the pharaoh. And we can see the pharaoh in front of different gods. Egypt Excursions Tours provides you with a great excursion to Abu Simbel. Do you like to visit Abu Simbel? Do you like to visit Egypt? So we are waiting for you here. Different scenes of the pharaoh in front of different gods. And here we are inside the side rooms annex. We have more than 6 about. You can see the roof with the names of the pharaoh. Now we are going out. The pharaoh in front of Tut, different gods. The pharaoh is doing offerings to the different gods. God Betah. Many gods all over Egypt. Tut, the great god of wisdom. Ramesses, when he built the temples of Abu Simbel to spread the cult of the Egyptians in Nubia, in south of Egypt. Nubia, we have the high Nubia and the lower one. The lower one in Egypt from Aswan to border with Sudan. After many years later, in the 25th dynasty, the Nubian people came and they ruled Egypt, and they did a dynasty called the 25th dynasty. Here we can see different scenes. In one of the pharaoh was he's burning the incense in front of the solar park. Here in front of many gods like Tut, the god of wisdom. King Ramesses doing offering in front of different gods and goddesses. And here we are going to see the best of the best, as I say, the sanctuary of the temple. Later we can see. So now we are inside the sanctuary of the temple, in which we have 4 gods. From the right, Rahor Akhti, Ramses himself defied, Amon-Ra, and God Betah, the god of darkness, to the left. Thank you. If you like our video, please like, comment, or share, or subscribe. Do what you want. You are welcome. Thank you for your listening. And now we are moving to the second temple, the temple of Hathor, in front of the small temple of Abu Simbel, or the temple of Hathor, dedicated to his beloved wife, Queen Nefertari. The same scenes of the Pharaoh sacrificing the enemies in front of the god Amon-Ra, but this time he is supported by his wife, or behind him always we can see his wife, the beloved wife, Queen Nefertari. He is doing different offerings to the great gods of Egypt, as we can see, and the wife, she is using the sistrum in front of goddess Hathor, sometimes in front of Hathor, sometimes in front of Isis. So here we can see different scenes of the wife. She is doing offerings to different gods and goddesses. Here we can see the columns of the hypostyle hall, in which we can see the head of goddess Hathor. Now we can see the wife, she is doing the sistrum and flowers to Hathor. Here the Pharaoh Ramses II is doing the statue of Mat to god Amon-Ra. Behind him, the wife, she is doing offering to goddess Ankhet. And here God Horus and Set, they are supporting the crown above his head. And here the Pharaoh is sacrificing enemies in front of God Amon-Ra. And we can see the hands of the Pharaoh, the wife, she is supporting the husband. Here Queen Nefertari, she is doing the offerings and the sistrum to goddess Hathor. And the Pharaoh is offering the Mat statue of justice to god Amon-Ra, Nujas to god Horus. Here we can see Isis and Hathor, they are supporting the crown above the head of the queen. Here the Nefertari, she is doing to goddess Ankhet. Here the Pharaoh and the wife, they are offering flowers to goddess Hathor. To her is dedicated the temple. Hathor, or Hathor, she was the divine mother after Isis sucked the royal divine milk to god Horus, so Hathor became famous like Isis. Here we can see different scenes. The Pharaoh is doing offerings to god Amon-Ra, and we can see the bark of Hathor. Here the two goddesses, Isis and Hathor, they are supporting the crown above the head of Queen Nefertari, the beloved wife of the Pharaoh. Here we can see the symbol Ankh, symbol of life. And here we can see the winged solar disk, symbol of god Horus of Idfo, or Horus Behditi, and the wife, she is doing offering to the solar bark. Here we can see Ramses is doing offering to himself and his wife, Ramses defied. Here we can see Ramses crowned by the two gods. Here we can see King Ramses is doing offering to himself between Amon-Ra and goddess Mut. So if you like this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe to our channel. Do you like to visit Egypt? Do you like to visit the temples of Abu Simbel? Thank you.